But it gives me great pleasure, and I keep saying this is yet another privilege. I would like to introduce Tonia Antoniazzi, who can probably introduce herself better, but she's a brand new MP, and from what I've seen so far, exactly the kind we want more and more and more of. But I'll let Tonia tell you more.
Thank you very much. After you've had, you hold on to this. Can you? I've got a cold, a really stinking cold, so you'll have to put
We'll give it away. Don't worry, we'll give it away.
I need anybody to get my germs anyway. My name's Tonia Antoniazzi. I'm MP for Gower, and in South Wales, if you didn't work out by the accent. I'm not standing here with any knowledge today about medical cannabis. I'm standing here because my very, very good friend Chris Riley, at the back there, who, as a friend for years and years, well, I would say friend, he was my friend's friends, has become my constituent. And we've been having a lot of discussion. He's been very supportive since he's known I've been in the Labour Party, and has been one of my biggest fans. So when I stood in his constituency to be his MP, he was pushing and pushing and pushing forward. So excuse me if I look at some notes. Chris did say to go fly solo, but I just couldn't do it, so I made some notes. So I really support my honourable friend Paul Flynn's 10-minute rule motion on the legalisation of cannabis for medicinal purposes. And what it's asking is that leave be given to bring in a bill to allow the production, supply, possession and use of cannabis and cannabis resin for medicinal purposes and connected purposes. Now, I don't know or understand many Tories, especially Theresa May. I find it extremely frustrating. But the fact that she denies outright that cannabis has any medicinal use is just archaic, and she's living in the past, as we all know.
She wouldn't if she was ill.
Precisely my point. Okay? So we are lucky because, as I've heard today, as Henry has said, there is support cross-party for medicinal cannabis. And this is very much welcome news. You know, we know that prohibition causes problems, and of course cannabis is harmful, but no more harmful than alcohol, tobacco and indeed opiates. And having done a little bit of work into seeing what opiates do to you, I feel that this is a very, very strong argument for medicinal cannabis. There's a strong argument for regulation, keeping kids safe and putting a stop to organised crime. And as Becky said earlier, there are people who have been reading the Daily Mail for years, and it's a problem the Labour Party has also had, okay, because they believe it. But we need to be, again, as Becky said, we need to be open and discuss the topic rationally. I haven't had much abuse since I've become an MP. I'm sure there's a lot more to come. But some examples of what people have said to me on social media is, and don't take any offence to this, Paul, Paul Flynn is at the end of his political career. Sadly, if you keep supporting illegal drugs, yours will be the same. Charming. The other thing that was said was, by supporting medical cannabis, you were saying that your pupils, I was a teacher in a previous life, you were saying to your pupils that it's okay to take illegal substances. Now, these are ridiculous statements which make my blood boil. Absolutely. It enrages me so much. I have never cowed down to online bullying, and I'm not going to start now. Medical cannabis is common sense. We need to talk about it. And as Henry said earlier, give the politicians a clear and easy route. Give me a clear and easy route. Paul's done this. We're putting forward the 10-minute motion, so I am there to support him. And I urge you to lobby your MPs, to write to them, to ask them to be there on the October the 10th, on Tuesday afternoon, because I'm sure many, especially of the new MPs, and the older ones, the longer serving ones, will support you. I'm certainly not the youngest. Okay, and I'm happy to receive any more information. But the reason why I'm here today is thanks to my friend Chris Riley, and it's not because I'm any expert, as I've already said. But Chris is a year older than me, and as I was growing up, I remember him vividly in social circles. I won't tell you where, because it would mean nothing to you. A good-looking, gregarious ginger. That was before the beard. Sorry. And I taught for 9 years in the northwest of England, and when I moved back, I actually ended up teaching Chris's son Liam, and so we were in touch again, thanks to social media. And when we knew that Chris had MS, it was a shock for myself and for my friends to comprehend. You know, it's happening to one of us, and it's just damn cruel, to be honest with you. And Chris doesn't want to be pumped full of drugs that leave him comatose. He wants to live his life as pain-free as possible, to be a husband and a dad. And Chris should have the right to grow and blend his own cannabis plants to treat his MS, and not to be a criminal. But my support for Paul's bill is unstinted. As a country, the United Kingdom needs to move forward and legalise the use of medicinal cannabis. So I urge you to write your MPs, as I've already said, and I look forward to seeing you on Tuesday, October the 10th, outside Parliament. But, where am I? The rule of thumb for me in life is very, very clear, and this is what I live my life by. It's choice. And if you have a condition for which medical cannabis makes your life better, then you have the right to take it. The government does not own your body. And after hours of conversations with Chris, I am more and more convinced every day that we have to move forward, and we are moving forward. Because if this was my son, my mother, my brother, or indeed it is my friend Chris, and it improves his quality of life, I will fight for it. So I'm looking forward to seeing you outside Parliament on Tuesday the 10th of October. Thank you.